your Bodyhead or Fisthead journey started like years ago now.
Fisthead almost didn't get made. I made Fisthead, who's one of the characters in Bodyhead, originally a cartoon on YouTube and Newgrounds that I made. So Fisthead was a 2-minute short about a guy with a fist for a head who kills like a pinata villain, smashes them up. But I almost didn't make it. I was going to school for animation, but I wasn't I wasn't making funny animation yet. I was about to do fine art animation, and I was working on a thesis that I really fucking hated. And I went on Christmas break, and for fun, I started animating a guy who was just like Super Saiyan powering up, and all of his body parts were turning into fists, and he was clenching, and his head was a fist, and then he just kills a bunch of dudes. And I was like, dude, like all year I've felt like it's like a trudging, thing, just going home at the end of school every day and not wanting to work on stuff outside of school. And like in one day I made like half of this short. Am I doing the wrong thing? Is making something funny worth it? Is that what I should be doing? And I think for a long time I was like, I didn't know, is that weird to go to school and pay all that money to make like fart jokes and have people explode and stuff? Like I felt like my parents would be upset.
I ask myself the same question every day.
My whole family, artists, painters, landscapes, abstract, all that stuff. And so it felt weird to diverge from that, and like I would disappoint my parents, not by not being a doctor, but by drawing fart cartoons instead of a beautiful mountain or something. But so I ended up trashing my other thesis, and I ended up going with Fisthead, and I had some key friends that I had shown that to, and one of those friends ended up becoming a writer that I took with me for years, working on different versions of Fisthead. But basically, I made this cartoon. It was my first full-length cartoon that I put on Newgrounds and YouTube, and for me, for my standards, it went viral immediately. And viral back in the day, especially for me, was, oh fuck, it has 150,000 views, holy shit, what the hell? And then on Newgrounds it got 30,000, and I was like, yo. And people were hitting me up. The studio that redubs Pokemon in English, they hit me up on YouTube, and they were, if you ever make this as a series, we want to do the sound. We can help you cast Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku, as one of your guests. And I was like, what? I was like, well, I'm not even done college yet. And then separately, I got an email from it was a Fox email. They were trying to make this block of Fox that was adult content shows, and they were, do you have any more of this Fisthead thing? Oh fuck, I gotta get to writing. So we wrote this.
Did you tell them yes?
Pilot.
Were you? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you lie? Were you 8 episodes back?
I have done that. I have done. No, and that's something that I've continued to do throughout my whole career. Is I will seek out a pitch at a studio, and we will book something for 1 month from now, and I will make a pitch by the time that I will book a pitch, and I don't have anything to pitch yet, and it'll make me make a thing by that time. I've done that many times. So basically we wrote a quick pilot, and they were, this is funny, and they ended up having me come out and hired me as a junior writer on Axe Cop, which was a show that they were making on Fox ADHD. I had never been in a writer's room. I had never taken a writing class. My spelling is really bad. I don't know anything.
Brother, you and me both. Like so dyslexic.
I don't know anything. I'd never been in a writer's room. I don't know writer's room etiquette. I went out. And they were doing this weird hybrid room where they had visual artists and storyboard artists with like writers. And I want to set the scene for you. It was me coming in with a punk band shirt with no sleeves on and short shorts. I came into this room and I looked to the left, and it was the head writer from American Dad. I looked over there. It was the creators of the show Drawn Together. I looked over there. It was Nick Weidenfeld, who has developed most of the Adult Swim shows that you've known. I looked there. It was Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. I looked over there. It was Rodrigo Huerta, who made the Newgrounds cartoon Batman Eats a Hot Dog.
He's up there with
up
those
there.
other titans of industry.
And I sat down, and I remember they were trying to flesh out plot stuff. And I would go, what if he just shits himself? And in the middle of that, or like I would like draw something funny and like hold it up, and they're like, we're trying to like come up with like plot stuff. Like what do you like? And I didn't realize that it's kind of that scene in Rocket Power where they learn that when you go to another beach, you have to let all the locals surf the wave first, and you're considered the shoebie. You gotta wait till the end of the day, and then you can suggest something. Needless to say, I was fired in one day, and I had just moved out to Los Angeles. And basically, they had me come out to work on a show that was similar to Fisthead, but wasn't Fisthead. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? And so I pitched them a bunch of shorts, and they said, come in the next day with some shorts, pitches, and I came in the next day with 7. I pitched one of them. It was a game show called Stuff That Doesn't Fit Into Other Stuff, where they find stuff that doesn't fit into that stuff, and then they make it fit into that stuff. And that was the first time I got paid to make a cartoon. I was, eating beans and rice, and I had one cartoon that I was getting paid to make, and eventually I got brought on to the team. But that Fisthead cartoon got me out to LA, and then when I was in LA, someone that I worked with at Fox ADHD showed that to the head of Titmouse and Chris Pernosky, and Titmouse has made Super Jail, Metalocalypse, they've animated Adventure Brothers, Motor City, Big Mouth, all these crazy shows. And so I ended up teaming up with Titmouse and Chris Pernosky for free. They were like, hey, we don't have any budget, but we're making a web series program where we just like pair you up with an editor and a producer, but we can't pay you. Do you want to make a series? And I was like, yeah, I'm so desperate. And I started off making Fisthead. I made 10 3-minute storyboards of Fisthead for free. You might be saying, that's so fucking stupid. You're a fool. What are you doing? Why did you do that? What ended up happening is that didn't end up airing or coming out. Again, you might say you're a fucking idiot. Why did you do that? But the thing is the head of Titmouse became technically a co-creator of Fisthead with me. And when the head of a studio is willing to go into a pitch to Adult Swim and pitch all the animatics that you made and be like, hey, Titmouse, which is one of the largest studios that still animates in-house in the United States, when they say, we'll animate this cartoon if you guys pick it up, then Adult Swim listens. It got me in the room. And so even though that web series didn't come out, and people on my YouTube channel were, what the fuck? You made this thing. It's the only thing that you made and you didn't come out with any more of it. I even had made a video. I did a funny Tim and Eric style video. I'm slapping my belly, and the cartoon is going to come out. And I don't know what to do. Because we pitched it to Adult Swim, then we had to take Fisthead offline. And basically, I had started developing this cartoon with Adult Swim of Fisthead, and Fisthead had a brother, and he was like a normal guy.
Fisthead, hurry up, man! I'm smushing your character in Going Hammer.
And it was Fisthead is addicted to fighting crime and keeps ruining his brother's life, and that was sort of the gist of the initial Fisthead pilot. That we got to the point where we had full storyboards. It was fully cast. We had cast Pamela Adlon, the voice of Bobby Hill, as one of the characters, and she was scheduled to record with us. We had an animation director working in an office, a storyboard artist working in an office, and a designer and a producer. And we were going. And then I got a call, hey, this last animatic, they want to shelve it. They don't know if they want to do the series. And so I had to tell them all they didn't have a job anymore, which is fucking sucks. It's awful. It's an awful feeling. And what ended up happening was we pitched another version where we got rid of his brother because they didn't like what Mike Lazo, the head of Adult Swim, famously does not like, when I say straight men, I don't mean he only likes gay guys. I mean that he doesn't like straight characters that are, picture like one character doing goofy shit and the other guy's like, stop, what you're doing is crazy. You know, it's that kind of character. So it's one of the reasons why he hated Morty from Rick and Morty, and Rick and Morty almost didn't get picked up because he the character Morty so much. And so I found out too late that two big things were working against me. He hated superheroes, and Fisthead was kind of a superhero, and he hated straight men. And the whole episode was about his normal brother's birthday, and his normal brother didn't want to have a birthday, and Fisthead was trying to save his birthday from being boring by causing chaos. We ended up pitching one final version that we got rid of the brother, we gave Fisthead a little team, and the main villains in it it was an organization called Figurehead, and they all had body parts for heads, and it was basically, hey, you're one of us, we want to fuse to become a giant kaiju that can destroy the world. But Fisthead grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons and doesn't want to. And that was the main story. And a lot of the initial designs from Bodyhead were as villains. And when they finally said no to that, I didn't draw Fisthead for years and years. Last October, I'd come up with an idea to kind of make what if Fisthead is funny. I know Fisthead is funny. Anything I write with Fisthead is going to be funny. But what if we have some characters that have like a modicum of a depth to them? What if we have some characters that could potentially have growth? Because Fisthead's not going to change, really. He's just going to punch stuff until it's all dead. But I feel like I needed to pair him with some other guys who could have some growth or have some arcs or whatever. And so I was like, what if this is kind of like Community, weird cursed Community, where it's kind of a sitcom where it's a group of people that are going to college, these weird mutants, and we basically make it so that in order to pass the test, in my mind, I was like, what if in order to do some normal ass shit like pay your taxes or pass a test, you had to transform a sick Megazord, and that's the only way you could like collect your faculties enough with your just anxiety-ridden, mental illness-riddled mind and body. What if that was the only way that you could get anything done? And that was sort of the metaphor for like, what if it's this kind of like kids in a trench coat situation? They sneak into college with one tuition, and they're trying to basically be this group of people who are turning their life around and trying to get good grades in college, which is a place where historically you go to explore your individual identity. And it's like this, you know, is it a situation where we could put these different characters and their whole life they've been solving their problems by fusing together, but we put them in a situation where they all have to work on themselves and they all get interested in different things? And does that, you know, cause conflict? Does it make them grow apart? Do they start smoking too much? Do they get involved in a debate club and become toxic? Do they? I don't know. Look, yeah. So that was sort of the vibe, and I pitched it to them, and they were let's try to make it, and we'll see if the upper executives at Adult Swim, we'll see if they like this version. But I'm super excited. I'm very excited for you guys to see what is to come, man.